Hello and welcome back to the series where I stitch a square out of the Granny Square Stitches card deck every week for 50 weeks. So we are up to week number 10, which is this one, the V-stitch. So this looks fun. We've got 3 colors. So I am pulling in 3 colors of Anthem. This is pink, pearl, agate green, and poppy red. And let's take a look. See what we're supposed to be doing here. So to work the square shown on the card, make 19 chains and follow the chart, working in 1 row stripes of yarns A through C until square. To create a single crochet edging, see pages 22 and 23 in the booklet. So just to remind you, this is the booklet that comes in the card deck. And on page 22 and 23 are the instructions for your single crochet border. I've gone through this a few times, so I probably won't go into it in detail in this video, but you can always go back and reference older videos to see how this is done. But we'll see when we get there how much instruction it needs. So it looks like we're doing our chain and our first row all in the same color. And they've got it in the red. So let's pull out my poppy red. And we're gonna zoom in. This is a worsted weight yarn and I am using a 5mm crochet hook. That is the one that I find works best for my tension with this particular yarn. Okay, so 19 chains. There's my 19th chain, and I like to work into my back bump, so I'm going to turn my chain over. Let's just take a closer look at the chart so we know what this all means. So this is our chain of 19, and it looks like we're going to be working into the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th chain from the hook, and we're going to do a double crochet, a chain, and then another double crochet all into that 5th chain, and then we're going to skip 2 chains and repeat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chains. So like I say, I like to work into my back bumps. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the chain that I need to make my V-stitch in. So my V-stitch is a double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, insert into that chain, pull up a loop. I've got 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over again, pull through the second 2. Now I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to do another double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to go into that same chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2. There are no chains in between our V's. You see how there's no chain in symbol in between these 2 V stitches. We're just skipping stitches. So I got to come down to my chain. I'm going to skip 2 chains, find that 3rd bump, and repeat my V stitch. So I've got 1 double crochet, chain 1, and then another double crochet. Come down to my chain, skip the next 2 chains, and into the 3rd, I'm going to place another V. Chain 1, double crochet. Skip 2 chains, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. Oops. Skip 2 chains into this 3rd chain, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. Okay, so I don't have enough chains to fully repeat the pattern, so let's take a look at our stitch chart and see if it gives us instructions. So this is where I am. I've got 2 chains left, and it looks like I skip a chain and then I put a double crochet in that last chain, and I'm going to change color as well. So let's get my pink ready to go. I'm going to skip that second to last chain, and in my last chain I'm going to double crochet. So I'm going to insert my hook and pull up a loop, and I'm going to yarn over and pull through those first two. Then I'm going to drop my red and bring in my pink, lay it on my hook and pull that pink through. And then my chart says, so I'm here, we're going to chain 3. And then we're going to make our V's in that chain 1. So we're just going to make a V-stitch in each chain 1 all the way across. And then we're going to put a double crochet in the top of our original turning chain. So why don't we take a moment, we can find that turning chain and put a stitch marker into it. So this is my very first V-stitch. So that is the V for my double crochet. So this here is where I want to put the last double crochet of the row. So just having that there is going to help me find the stitch really easily. I'm not digging for it when I get there. Okay, so let's chain 3. Get all my ends together. I want to pull my red a little bit tighter. I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn my work. And now I'm going to find my V. So you'll see here that my chain, my bottom chain, my starting chain, where I've worked my V-stitch, it's gotten quite big. Now that'll even out once we get the border on there, but just so you know, that's normal. Okay, so this is my chain 1 space. So I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to insert into that space, and I'm going to make my V. So that's a double crochet, a chain 1, and a double crochet. And then I'm going to come to my next chain 1 space and do the same thing. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Remember, we're not chaining in between these V's. We're just going straight into the next space and making another V-stitch. Now, I don't think we need to cut our yarn. I think we can bring it up the side. When you're working with a 3-color combo with a single row repeat, you should be able to keep your yarn attached. Okay, I've got my last V. I need a double crochet, a chain 1, double crochet. Oops, split my yarn there. And now I'm at my stitch marker. So I can take out my stitch marker. I'm going to hold my fingers where it was. I'm going to yarn over, and then I can get my hook into that stitch, which is the top of my turning chain. I'm going to start my double crochet, but then I need to get my green. So let's find my end here. Got my green. I'm going to lay it over my hook, pull it through. And just take a moment to sort of get your ends all secure. And then we're basically just going to repeat that with the third color. So chain of 3, and then we make V-stitches in the chain 1 space of our V-stitches from the row below. It's really quite a simple pattern. Oops, I forgot the chain 1 there. Now I'm in my last V, so I know I have 1, should have put a stitch marker in there, but I need to put a double crochet in the top of this chain 3. So I'm going to do my first pull through. I'm going to pause, and then my red is waiting for me, so I'm just going to pull up my red, pull it through. And then I can keep going. So I'm going to chain 3. Now this time I'm actually going to mark this chain 3, which I should have been doing all along because it'll help me. And then we continue. So that's it, guys. You're going to continue doing that pattern, changing color with each row until your square is square. Here they've got 6 rows, so like 2 repeats. I might have to do more, we'll see. So I'll come back when those 6 are done, and then we can do the border together. All right, see you then. Okay, I know I said I was going to come back after I did the 2 repeats, but it was fairly obvious to me that it was not square, so I just kept going and I added 2 more rows. So now it is square. So if I do my little trick of taking the bottom right corner up to the top left, my sides all line up to make a perfect square. Okay, so I haven't quite finished this row. I haven't done my last double crochet. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to change color and do my border in this turquoisey color, which is what they've done. So they've switched color and then done their border in that color, which could be nice. Yeah, I think I will. But it does mean that I can cut off my red. And I'm going to do something a little bit radical. I'm going to weave in my ends before I start my border. But first we need to finish this row. So we got 1 more double crochet, and I forgot to put my stitch marker in here. So I'm going to try and find 2 strands of that chain. There we go. Do my first yarn over, drop my pink, pull through with my green. And I'm going to chain 1 to lock my green in place, and then I can cut off my pink. And then I can start my border, but first I am going to weave in my ends. I know this is not how I normally do it, but with this block, I was really dissatisfied with how messy these sides are because I didn't weave in my ends first. I had strings everywhere. It was just a big old mess. So I'm going to see if weaving in my ends now helps with that. So I'm going to do that, come back, and we'll do the border together. Okay, my ends are all woven in, and looking at this, I'm much happier with this. I think it just gives me like a clean slate, like, you know, just a neater, cleaner starting point. So hopefully my border will go easy peasy after this. Okay, so I've chained 1. I'm going to turn my work, and the top is fairly easy. I'm just going to put a single crochet in every stitch all along the top. And when I come to those chain 1 spaces, I'm just going to put a single crochet around that chain 1 space. Oops, was that a chain 1 space? Yep. Don't skip the chain 1 spaces like I almost just did. And then one last single crochet where my stitch marker is, which is the top of my beginning chain. So this now becomes my corner. So we're going to single crochet, chain 1 if you need to, put a stitch marker around that chain 1, and then right back into that same space we have another single crochet, and that will start our side. So let's take a look at this side. We have got basically a combination of chains and double crochets down the side. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to say 2 single crochets per row should be a good number. So I've already got 1. And now it's a matter of trying to find where to put said single crochets. And where I've got these long strings, I'm definitely trying to trap them so that it's less obvious. Oops. Okay, so I'm near the bottom. I got second to last stitch. Now I'm going to put my last stitch down here. Chain 1. If you need to mark that chain 1, go for it. I'm going to turn and then go right back in that stitch. Okay, so now we're on the bottom. And I just took a quick look at the card here. And, oops, getting all tangled. They have gone into the chain. So we're going to attempt to do that. And remember, there's 2 single crochets, so like 2 chains in between each of these V stitches. So we got 1 there. Our next one is here. And then where the V-stitch was, and then 2 there, 1 where the V-stitch is, 2 there, 1 where the V-stitch is. I'm not going to have you watch me struggle to get into my chain, but that's what we're going to do. Same corner treatment, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and then just repeat what you did down this side, up this side. So 2 single crochets per row. And then you're just going to do 1 more round of that, and we're done. So I will come back when this is all finished. And there we have it, all done. I've woven in all the ends, so it's nice and clean, and I'm much happier with the way these sides look. So I think moving forward, when we have ones like this with lots of color changes, I will do that again, and I'll weave my ends in first before starting the border. I thought it would be interesting or fun, or maybe not, who knows, moving forward to say, like, give up project ideas for these. So for this one, I think this would be a really good, like, fast blanket project, especially if you're doing color changes like this. because you don't have to cut off your ends, you can just carry them up the side, and all you have to worry about then is managing your balls of yarn. But yeah, I think this would be a super fast and fun and like playful pattern, so maybe for a kid's blanket or something. The same with this one, the block stitch. Obviously I did not do a very good job of this, so I need to practice that, but the block stitch would make a good blanket. Granny stitch obviously would make a good blanket. I mean, it's like, that's like the go-to, the OG. So yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this one. This one was nice and fun and simple. That is the V-stitch. Okay, so next week we're going to be tackling this one, which is baby blocks stitch. So kind of like mini granny squares, maybe? I guess we'll find out. All right, I will see you next week.